Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are live. It is here, Video Game Replay in 2025. My name is Larry. I'll be your host today. And also joining me is my co host, CJ.
Back from the dead, like I never left. Right below me, possibly, maybe this way, maybe that way, maybe this way. On my screen, right below me, the big deal.
Dilf in the building. What's up? What's going on
Oh,
today, Larry?
well, today we're going to just do an extra. So we're going to let everybody get kind of caught up, let us know where we've been, and just give you a little bit of video game fun to talk about. But just take a second here and tell you guys, hey, I'm happy to be back doing this with you guys. Hope you guys had a good holiday. Hope all of our listeners had a great holiday.
Yep. The only thing missing from my holiday was you guys.
Man,
So
that's
sad.
touching. I told myself I wasn't going to cry in this, man, but thank, thank you very much. Um, but no, man, like I say, it's really good to be back here doing this, and like I say, I guess let's just play some catch up. Since you decided to raise back from the dead, where you been, CJ? What happened? Where'd you go?
And I've been dead. So ended up one week I got really busy. I got a new car finally. I got rid of my beauty that I loved so much. But it was the right smart financial decision. Make good decisions with your money, people. Um that took up way more days than I thought. It ended up taking like 3 days out of my week. That tanked my week. And then that on top of I was coming in to, see you guys for Thanksgiving and stuff pretty soon after the travel and everything there. That was probably about almost 2 weeks total. And then I realized, Thanksgiving and Christmas might be closer together than I thought. So maybe I should have just came in for Christmas because I ran out of money because I went Black Friday shopping and went out to eat and spent money and gas. So been here, been this is my second week straight off of work because a little shutdown at the end of the year. Been doing a lot of nothing. Started watching Better Call Saul. Pretty good show. I'm feeling it. I really like it. Good show. Got back into a little bit of Fortnite. Been playing a decent amount of it, and been sleeping a lot, a lot, way too much, way more than healthy. That's for sure. Way more than healthy. Been in hibernation more than anything, honestly.
It's a good time of year to do that, so you might as well get it out of the way.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, what's been happening in Larrytown?
Oh, myself? Well, yeah, I took about a week and so off. Been piss pilling through the first of the year here, just trying to avoid work as much as possible, but they forced me to go back. So I have done that last 2 days, and right now I feel like a young teenager who, I can handle staying awake for the new year and not sleeping well for the last couple of days. And right now, I don't know. Say, you can see me on the video, I'm actually asleep. You're just talking to my like subconscious at this point. But let's see here. Since we last together, I guess get everybody up to speed on it. Probably broke down and just bought a brand new dishwasher. It works. It's nice. Got a hell of a deal on it. It was a $800 um, dishwasher that I bought at a big box store, but basically got it for half off. And
Nice,
at the time, the company or the store put a 11% rebate on everything you buy, so it actually ended up like three something. And it's like a
nice,
top shelf thing that should be, I would say, the last one I'll ever buy, but the last one I buy for a while. So um,
nice. It's a
just
steal.
throw this out there, I guess. Fuck Frigidaire. Want to let them know that personally. If they want to sponsor us, that's fine. I'll take your money, but I will never own another Frigidaire product. So, but other than that, yeah, just getting through life, trying to, like I say, had the holidays. Kids broke me. I love my wife. She broke me. Uh, hung out with her family, hung out with my family, and like I spent about 3 days trying to recuperate from that. And other than that, just glad that I can get back with you guys, play some 8-bit video games, and brought us back to this. But let's talk to the man of the hour, Big Dilf,
hmm
Aidan. How you
Big,
living,
big
man? What's
deal.
happening?
I've been living. I've been working, living. Holidays were nice. Currently got a little sinus infection brewing, but you know, It's life. It happens. It sucks. But I want to give you guys an update on my vehicle. Last update you guys got. I want to say it was about a month ago. You got the last Aiden vehicle update. So I hit a deer, and I ended up getting a large dent. Or sorry, I hit a horse deer, and I ended up getting a large dent in my hood, and I needed a new grill. So that totally sucked. Uh, so actually, I had my papaw knows a guy at auto. What is it, like an auto repair shop? I don't know, but he took
Yeah,
it, and we got that all. We
Yeah, I
got that
think
all
so.
sorted out. And over the holidays, this was around Christmas break, or not Christmas. It was Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
CJ's family CJ's mom's house, his family, and I saying my goodbyes before he took off. Everything's fine and dandy. And as I was going, and I was completely sober. This isn't even. I was. Everyone can vouch. There's a little snow on the
Sure.
ground. You know, it's November, classic late November. Little snow on the ground, and I took this really windy road. And mind you, at this point, I've had my license for like 3 months, so I now thinking I should not have even been on that road. I should have said I'm not driving in this two-wheel drive vehicle on this road that is the worst road I've ever seen, completely covered in snow. But you guys can see where this is going. I ended up being completely in a ditch. Uh, need a new bumper, need a new door. I had a buddy come pull me out, and it completely fucked up my oil pan. It scraped my oil pan off my car. Bunch of
Yeah, yeah.
underneath car stuff. So the car was not drivable. Yeah, so that's my car update. Other than that, I've been playing some Fort, playing some games, getting sick, giving some gifts, getting some gifts. You know, it's been a time.
No,
How many people did it take to get the car out?
Oh, it was at least I want to say like 7 people, but
Good God, what'd you guys do? Pick it up?
I tried by myself. I didn't call anybody.
Kind of.
I didn't call anybody for like 10 minutes or like 20 minutes because like I'm gonna get this out myself. I tried
No.
every. I
Bro, I
tried like
kid you not.
I got a
When we
big
showed up,
stick and I put it under my
I
tire
sat
to like trying to get leverage, bro. And I was like pushing the back of it. I was like, "What am I doing? This thing is like this in the ditch, mind you." I'm like,
dude,
Who am I, Hulk? What am I trying to do here?"
I sat this driver's seat. And I kid you not, I was like this. Like, it was so bad. I know you had to roll out of the car. Like, there's no way you just stood up.
I mean, it sounded like you could probably stood on the driver's side door and like came out the other side, maybe.
Yeah, I could have.
Poke your head
There
up or
was
something, look
there
around.
was 2 people, including Aiden, pushing on the driver's side to get the passenger tire to touch the ground so that we could
Mm-hmm.
pull with the truck and get traction with the tires.
Yeah,
Damn.
Oh, it was
I don't know
something.
what I was thinking because like thinking back, not only was the car at like this angle, the other tire wasn't even touching the road. It was like this. The tire was in the air. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just gonna pull this baby out myself with my pure strength, but it did not work. So, bad
Or went to
times.
creative mode.
Hey man, it's we do stupid shit. It's how we learn. I mean, I I can recall the first time I put my dad's Blazer into a ditch, and we'll just say basically I ended up trashing the shit out of the side of it with a stop sign and cleaned out the ditch really well. And all it took was me walking 100 yards up the road to where I was actually going to my buddy's house, and he could have easily pulled me out, which he did with his Bronco. So yeah, you learn not to panic and just try to think it through. But props for you for trying to hulk it up though.
I tried to hook it up. Hindsight, I should have just called a tow truck because I would have still had an oil pan under my car. But
You live and learn, man. Like I
you
said,
live and you learn.
I do know what I do know you will be back in it at some point, right? So
Oh, I got it back.
you didn't- oh yeah,
I got it back actually yesterday, but it came with a
okay,
price.
yeah, that happens. That happens. Well, I guess well, either way, at least you be like I say, you got your wheels back. You can move freely. That's part of it, man. And by the way, there's a great snowstorm coming this weekend. Expect about 7 to 10 inches. So just to let you know
Yeah.
that in case you got to
It's
work.
supposed to get
I do go to
very
work, so that's
negative
gonna suck.
down south. It's supposed to be like -20 down here at one point in this big draft of cold air. It's
That's
not,
crazy for where
not
you live.
Yeah, I know. It's like I guess it's gonna be like negative in Texas even. So
Yeah, fuck
getting
that.
They're gonna
getting
die.
southern.
Remember when it was like there got like an inch of snow last year and the whole state shut down?
Yeah, so I guess it's like parts of the Gulf of Mexico pretty much are almost gonna get cold. So it's like the entire panhandle of Florida, all Louisiana and shit. Like, supposed to get pretty fucking frigid. I'm not excited. Not at all.
Oh, well, I am not a financial advisor, but I do recommend run out and buy as much frozen orange juice as you can right now, corner the market, because it will go to shit next year. Um, well, let's see here. I did hear both of you guys say you've been playing Fortnite lately. Actually,
Yep.
strangely, I played a little bit myself over
Oh
the
shit.
holidays, and yeah, still, I'm on the fuck that game. I do like that game. That was not meant for old assholes like me, but let's go back around to CJ. What have you been playing, man? Besides that, just Fortnite, or you been playing something else fun you want to talk about?
Let me see. I feel like okay, so I told myself maybe I'll get an old game with like backwards compatibility or something on my Xbox over the break. So I was up real late and I got the demo and I'm still on the fence. Part of me wants to get it, part of me doesn't because I don't know if I'm gonna play it. But Kingdom Hearts, I've always loved the idea of it. Played a little bit of it and it was really cool. I'm afraid it's gonna be one of those things where I buy it and I play it like twice and then whatever. And then other than that, my brother wanted me to download this horror game. It's like $15, Phasmophobia. You pretty much go ghost hunting, have to like determine what kind of ghost it is. It's all right. I don't really know all the controls. I only played it for like an hour, but it's got some potential. I might have almost shit my pants a few times. It was pretty all right. It seems like it's probably good.
My age, shitting your pants is a regularity, but I don't have to play video games for that. So, um, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that. I'm sure if there's anyone out in the audience who's got any suggestions for CJ on whether or not to play Kingdom Hearts, email us at the VGR podcast.
Yeah.
He could probably use the help to hear about that. Aidan, how about you, man? What's been occupying your time in the video game world?
Well, a little update that I forgot to mention. I got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. So big bonus for that.
Hey, welcome to the world of the Switch. I hear they're
Welcome to the
getting a
world of the
new one in the
Switch.
next year or two.
Yeah, I heard. But uh I'm I've been playing a little bit of Fortnite with C and everything. It's just
Mhm.
because other than that, mainstream games have been kind of dead recently. BO6 came out, but it came and went pretty fast.
Yeah.
Played a little Fort,
Unfortunately.
Um,
but you're good.
no, go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, actually, yeah, I know you guys. I realized that as soon as you said it that you guys haven't played any of that Black Ops or hadn't mentioned it. Hell, since you were in it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like supposed to be like the biggest game in a long time, but it, I don't know, it just ended up being almost same old, same old. Sorry to say it, but it's just same
Yeah.
old Black Ops and same thing that's been releasing for the past 6 years. Sorry if I keep muting my mic to cough. I am a little sick right now. But on the Switch part, I downloaded this game that I'm trying to advocate for a special episode podcast here sometime sometime in the future down the road. But I've been playing a Hollow Knight on the Switch. And that game, I'm pretty sure it won like some awards. I think it's an indie game, but it's just such a cool concept and such a fun game. The graphics are like real good for what it is. It's not typically the game that I would like, because if you look back at other episodes, my rating, I like a pretty static, strict path, and like game telling you what you're supposed to do. I wasn't the biggest fan of exploring type games for the most part. I like Terraria and stuff like that, but I really like this game because it's kind of it's different. It's like the point of the game. You're going to this underground city and you got to like explore this underground city and the point of the game is exploring. But weirdly enough, I'm really enjoying it and maybe sometime in the future we can get a bonus episode or something going on.
Well,
Could
I
be
mean,
down.
hey, it's
It,
Did you check in to see if that was multi-platform?
I was about to
Yeah,
ask.
I've had it on I have it on PC too.
Okay.
Nope.
Good. Because
Steam
one thing I
Store.
forgot to mention, my Switch shit out on me over the break, and did everything I could, and shit out of luck right now. So looking on eBay. Looking on eBay.
Okay, I can't do taps, but I do hate that for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like I say, I think that's pretty much a good way to get us all caught up and where we're all at and how we're living. You guys, do you want to thought anything else? Got anything else you want to say to everybody before we start to get into it?
Hmm.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I
Yeah.
say, I
Yeah.
am ecstatic to talk to you guys and do all this again. Like I say, we're in line to do some 8-bit fun, and I do know last time we talked to you that we well, not talked to you guys, but talked to the audience. We were supposed to be doing Metal Gear. Like I say, this is January the 2nd, and we pretty much had our first meeting the January the 1st.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh, we ain't got time to jump into it. So we're gonna take an extra week. We're gonna get then chance to play some Metal Gear, so we'll bring that one back at you. But this week, we're playing what I call the Donkey Kong Trilogy for the Super Nintendo, or shit, for the NES. It's been a holiday, folks. Forgive me. We're talking about Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 3. Arcade games released in 81, 82, and 83. The NES, which is the versions that we played, came out in 1986, spread out throughout the year. Um, this was actually developed and put together by actually the very first game of our super master of Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto. So, of course, his department R&D1 put this all together. It's his first video game that he ever made. And of course, it's been published by Nintendo.
Did
Okay,
not know it
forgive
was
me.
his first.
Yeah, that he actually got hired for this, and he decided to take the whole thing into a different direction. And with the next several paragraphs that I'm going to read to you guys, we'll kind of get a little bit of just what's going on there. So, Donkey Kong was developed as an arcade game to follow up the failing Nintendo Radar Scope. It's a kind of a Space Invaders clone. It did very well in Japan, basically saving Nintendo from bankruptcy, and thus Nintendo tried it out, Donkey Kong, in the US, and it was so successful that it moved hundreds of thousands of units and spawned a couple of sequels as well. In Donkey Kong, you play as a fellow named Jumpman. Later, we get to know him as a fellow named Mario, but he's the original
Right.
blue collar worker that Nintendo took from the everyday rat race and turned him into a hero. Um, After your pet gorilla, Donkey Kong, goes crazy and kidnaps your girlfriend, Pauline, which makes later appearances in the Mario sagas, you, Jumpman, must now go and save her. That's pretty much the plot for the original Donkey Kong. Later on, though, you now have Donkey Kong Jr., which was the follow up for Donkey Kong, where you play as the Junior this time, trying to save your father, Donkey Kong, because he was
Mm,
apparently captured by Jumpman. Um,
had to get it
so the
back.
tables, so the tables have turned on this platform around, and this one, pretty much, you go through stages where you dodge obstacles that Jumpman produces from what seems to be like a little magic wand. I mean, they never really do explain how he creates these little monsters, but this time, Jumpman slash Mario is the bad guy. Then we go to Donkey Kong 3. Again, it's based around Donkey Kong, but it's definitely a little bit different. This one actually, when I looked up on Wikipedia, they called it a shooter, which I was like, that doesn't make sense. But when you start to play it, it does feel like Galaga because you're basically a
Yep.
single sprite shooting at something above you that's coming down the screen while you're trying to save the little plants at the bottom from being stolen. Um, but in the book form of this, basically, you play as Stanley the Bug Exterminator. You're no longer Jumpman, partially because Mario is becoming Mario and working his way over to being a Nintendo hero. But in this, you're called to stop Donkey Kong from aggravating the local bug life and save time to try to keep the bugs from stealing and destroying your plants, all by blowing insecticide up Monkey's ass. Great plot. Really great plot. Um, but basically, the short of this, I had to read and tell you a story, and that's what Shigeru Miyamoto brought to this. Before, every game was pretty much a you shoot at this, you score points. Shigeru Miyamoto came in and said, "Hey, what if we had a story?" And basically, the stories I just gave you are the ideas that he came up to create these games, and later on would create a game where a guy he used before has to save a princess. So that's what the man brought to it. But let's just talk about the video game. CJ,
Yes,
what's
sir.
your first what's your first impressions of Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 3.
First impression, of course, I played the OG first. Everybody's seen it. Uh, I'm not the best at it for some reason. I don't know why. It's like if you guys can imagine, I'm not very good at it. Um, it's cool kind of thing. Like it's definitely a little nostalgic. I feel like no matter who you are, it's similar to Mario. Everybody knows Donkey Kong. Everybody knows Mario. It's just it's one and the same when it comes to how many people like know of it. You can go up to pretty much anybody, same as you could with Mario, and say, "Hey, do you know who Donkey Kong is?" And they're gonna tell you something. Everybody knows Donkey Kong, so kind of nice to get just the familiar face at first. It didn't feel like, oh, like what is this gonna be? It's like, fuck yeah, cool. Let's play some Donkey Kong. Um, First one, not great at. Junior, I've never played Junior 3 to my knowledge before this. Junior, different. I liked it. I liked it a lot because it was, I didn't know what to expect actually. So it was kind of nice to go into it fresh. It was interesting. I definitely liked it better than one just because, you have something nice, you add on to it, you give it a little more depth, you give it a little more story. It's him getting back, getting back his dad kind of thing. I liked it. I liked crawling on the ropes, even though it pissed me off a few times. But I think three was a home run for me out of the three of them. I like that you see some games. It's you start okay, it's pretty good. You get a little better, and then they're like okay, and they mess it up. I don't think they did this. I like the change of what they did, and it feels like you have three totally separate games in a way. It doesn't feel like, oh, it's reskinned, which is, you see with a lot of older games. It's like, oh, look at our updated Mega Man level that you're doing the same exact shit but with different colors in the background. It's like it's not like that. So I like that it was actually different content. And three was my favorite by far. I really liked three. One solid, two was better, and I think three's the best if I had to rank them.
Okay, okay, that's fair enough. Third Delph, Mr. Aidan, what's your first impression of this trilogy?
My first impression is coming into this, I knew Donkey Kong was like an arcade style game. So that's what I expected. And I feel like it met those expectations. And I had a good time for what it was. I do think as the games progress, 1, 2, and 3, they kind of each game had a little more bit more depth and a little bit more difficulty, which I liked. Uh and I kind of like how each game it wasn't a copy paste. Every game had different mechanics, which is kind of rare for a for like three games to have like completely different mechanics to the one before them. I think I want to say my favorite's either two or three. I like two actually. I feel like two was simpler than three. I definitely have the most
Hmm.
time played on three. I think I gotta go with three. I think I like three just because I feel like the concept is
Okay.
cool. You gotta dodge these monsters and dodge the terrain while also keeping Donkey Kong up on those poles by blowing shit up his ass. So there's multiple different layers to it. Whereas as one and two, it's kind of one dimensional. You gotta make it make your way up to the top and dodge shit in your way, and that's pretty much it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much what I got on it. What about you, Larry?
Well, again, it's revisiting it. I want to say I recall playing one in the arcade when I was a young kid. Um, and the metal structure that you have to race up is just it is a early video game. This is what video games are. Because this itself kind of was like a small evolution for video games. So I do appreciate Donkey Kong for what it is. But like I say, if we'll take my 2025 eyes on it, it's way too simple. Um, Now Junior, I think is a nostalgia glasses I have for it because I do remember playing the shit out of that as a kid, and actually I remember playing it more on the ColecoVision. Actually on my Adam computer, which had a ColecoVision built into it, which basically is a fancy Atari system that they had back in the 80s. And Donkey Kong 3, I don't recall really ever playing it, so it was feeling very fresh and new to me as well. Um, so knowing that they were arcade games, simple arcade games from the 1980s, I tried to not so much give it a pass on the simplicity, but also appreciate what was before it. Especially knowing, like I say, even video games back in the early 80s and 70s were things like Space Invaders, which were very basic, very things. So it's I enjoy them for what they are, and I do like probably Junior the best. And then, but like I said, that's with all the nostalgia love of me feeling like the 6-year-old kid that sat in my parents' bedroom because that's where they kept the computer and playing it for as long as I could before my brother came in, beat me up, and took over and started playing something else. So, but again, with a little bit of nostalgia glasses I have for it, what do you guys see as the graphics? How do they look to you with the eyes that you've seen? Because this is basically 40-year-old graphics that you're
I
seeing. So, Aiden, how does
Yeah.
that make you feel?
Well, you can definitely see the progression between games. Number one, or Donkey Kong One, it was definitely a little rough. I don't think the graphics were bad by any means, but I feel like the biggest jump between games was one and two. One and two,
Hmm.
two definitely felt like everything, or like all the things in the game had more of like an outline. The mechanics felt more tight. The biggest jump was from one to two. Two to three was maybe a small jump, but I don't think it was anything major. But I don't think I mean, for what it was in the time that it was released, I don't think the graphics were bad at all.
I agree. CJ, you got an opinion on what you've seen?
Yeah, one thing that you had to actually correct me on because I was confused and I had to reach out and ask you why I kept dying because I was landing on the platform in Donkey Kong Jr. I didn't realize there was fall damage. It's kind of, at least to my knowledge, maybe is that the first fall damage ever in a game? Possibly, I don't know. But it was
Yeah.
cool. It was different. I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? I definitely, for a game of its time, not something I expected. I mean, it's got, it's not just, oh, you freeze like normal. A lot of games, like
Yeah.
for example, Mario of the time, you die, you just kind of off the edge, and then that's it. No, little Junior, he, oh
Isn't there
shit, like he
there's fall
shows you.
damage
I
in
just,
one
I
too,
just
isn't
fucked
there?
my ankles up, huh?
Isn't there fall damage in one as well?
I didn't fall in one. So if there is, I didn't fall from like something far enough at least. But I know on the ropes and two, I totally took some
You
fall
definitely can't. On
damage.
one of the levels, you can definitely fall. But
Okay.
either way,
Um.
Donkey Kong, that's the first mechanic I've seen fall
Yeah,
damage
as I
being.
say.
Hmm.
I mean, it looked cool for, like you said. It's kind of what you expect for being an arcade type game. Um. Never expected it to blow my socks off. I don't think it did anything visually like wow factor to me, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like holy shit this isn't playable. Like how does it, like, I've played Top Gun before and I think Top Gun had a lot more of wow this is hardly playable because of the graphics. This just felt of its time and fine. Like this felt okay. It didn't feel like it broke the standard at the time. It just felt like it met the bar and did its job.
I mean,
And
and it
I
kind
don't
of,
think it did anything crazy.
you gotta kind of think, like when Donkey Kong One came out, there was no giant to stand on. There was no shoulders to stand on. Like there was no like. It kind of just made it out. There wasn't based on anything. It just created it from nothing, and it's kind of the beginning of this of like the universe with like Mario characters and Donkey Kong. So I feel like we can kind of take that into account as well.
Okay. Well, one, you're very right. This was a forced creation. I'll go back. I've spent way too much time watching too many history of Donkey Kong videos this past couple days. Um, Actually, I guess the last two. I don't know since we started talking about doing this week. But either way, this in Japan started out as at least for the Nintendo side of it, I guess, started out as a Popeye game. You had Popeye, Bluto, his bad guy, and then Olive Oil, which now
Huh.
fills in your three characters.
Totally makes
Um,
sense.
but I guess they were worried about copyright in America, so they had to come up with something. And a dumb ape was what they came up with because that's how they referenced Bluto's being a dumb ape. And then donkey apparently is a word that was very typical for Americans in the 80s, is saying dumb. And Kong, of course, means gorilla. as that. So Donkey Kong's how we got there. There's a lot of good history on this stuff. I'll tell you guys, whoever, go look up the gaming historian. And then there's a guy, Patman CQ or QC, Patman QC on YouTube, who puts out 2 really good documentaries about this. It's 40 minutes of your watch time, but if you want really detailed information about it, it's a good watch. It's a good watch. I do want to reference the graphics because this is, I guess, the part that where I feel we got cheated, again, knowing what I've known about it. The games came out 81, 82, 83. We don't get them on the home console till 86, at least from Nintendo. Nintendo licensed it out to ColecoVision, they licensed it out to other people, all that stuff. The things we get cheated on is in the very first stage, Donkey Kong 1. He grabs Pauline and he jumps up the rafters and then bounces on the top rafters, which causes all the slants that you see. And we don't get that. We get no cutscene in it whatsoever. And actually, when you get to the top to where Pauline is, if you notice where Pauline's standing, there's actually 2 sets of stairs that go up because Donkey Kong reaches, grabs her, and heads up the stairs. And then there's also other cutscenes to it, so it became, more value for that quarter that you were putting into this machine to watch and play. And they apparently decided not to put that into these games. For memory purposes, what I'm told. Actually, because there's apparently a whole other level that we didn't get as well. There's a level 4 that wasn't brought into this game. Donkey Kong, and I think Donkey Kong Jr. had another level, but I do remember playing Donkey Kong Jr. I remember the one level where you have to push the keys up to the top to unlock Donkey Kong out of the cage. And back in 1986 on the ColecoVision, you pushed the key up and it made 1/4 of the cage disappear because you broke the
Yeah.
strap that was holding it down.
Mhm.
Nintendo, you don't get that. So graphic wise, I'm guessing they did the best they could, but I think they also kind of half-ass cheapened it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
You're
that's
not getting
definitely one
order
of
for play. Yeah, it's the
no,
one-time
but
price. You don't get it.
well, yeah, but still, you're looking at it at that point. You're like
Yeah.
in '86, you've already had Mario and all that out for a bit.
Mhm.
You've had Legend of Zelda and all those have started to roll out. So here's a 5-year-old arcade game that you're going to pay $50 for that has 3 levels and doesn't give you any of this.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little
Yeah.
grouchy, but um, I'll mention soundtrack because I know. Actually, I'll say that I think the first one has pretty much has music played through every level.
Hmm.
Um, but Junior doesn't. I'm like, you couldn't repeat the music, couldn't
Yeah,
Yeah.
find a way
I
to put
agree.
more on there.
I agree.
Um, but soundtrack wise, like I said, I don't have much because there really wasn't much noise to it. The sound sounded
Yeah.
clear, clean, better than what we had when me and Aiden played Paperboy. I mean, that thing was farts and queefs all over the place. So,
Yeah. For real.
Sparked it up.
um, but like I say, just get ourselves a little quick overview of it. CJ, did you have anything you liked? Do you have anything you really couldn't stand? Give me your high and low points of this.
One thing I know for sure I couldn't stand in one was the double barrels where they were like on each other's
Mm,
ass. Every time I
yeah.
was clinching when I jumped. I messed that jump up quite a few times. I can't really hate it, but so much. It's similar to Mario. When you jump in one, you can't strafe at all. And I hate it because I need to be able to
Mhm.
jump and move, but it's the jump, jump, jump. It's straight up and down. It's fine. Like I hate it, but I get it. I'm not pissed about it because I understand why it's that way. It's just of its time to be that way. So it's not too much of a gripe for me. I think in two, the quick little bugs, honestly, that climb down the vines. For some reason, I just went blind to them at some points, and I think I'm fine. And here I am holding on two things, and no, it bit my fucking hand or something. It was definitely user error. It pissed me off a few times. And in three, my biggest gripe is them damn caterpillars. What I would do is I'd let them
Oh
crawl in
yeah.
front of DK, and then I would start shooting them, And if I stop shooting the area, Donkey Kong's going to drop down because his feet will barely get below him to where I can hit him. But if I back away and let him move, he's going to be able to drop down because I'm not shooting. But if I shoot him, they stay. That really pissed me off. Another thing that I fixed like after my first 2-3 runs of it, but at first I was infuriated. um, Other than that, I'll go reverse order in 3. The one added mechanic that I did like is the little bee bug things coming down to steal your flowers. It kind
Hmm.
of it definitely upped the intensity, I think, in a way, because I'm more paying attention to getting out the way, and then I noticed I'm like, shit, they just took 2 of my flowers. Like I gotta shoot them, get them back. So I did like that. It was kind of a nice little, almost without it. I feel like the game's too simple. So I kind of like the added extra thing to where at the same time it's not just hey get Donkey Kong down. It's hey people are stealing your shit, don't let them. So it felt like Space Invaders meets Donkey Kong and um, Galaga all at once, I guess, in a way. It was cool. I really liked 3. With 2, I definitely, like I said, I appreciated the fall mechanic that it was a thing. At first, it definitely pissed me off, but I appreciated it. Um, and in 1, I mean, nothing I really overly appreciated. It was just what it is, kind of thing, is what I would probably leave it at. Nothing blew me away. Nothing pissed me off too bad, other than damn double barrels. But I will also say sometimes there's probably a pattern that I just didn't predict or didn't find out. But sometimes I think I'm safe. I'm like, I can walk under this ladder really quick. That barrel picked that ladder. And damn it, when it picks that ladder, it
Mm.
pisses me off. I'm trying to go up the ladder, and I'm like, okay, we got 2 barrels over there to my left. We got one more coming. It's definitely going to pass over me. I'm going to get the jump on. No, nope, that's not how that worked for me. So I always got barreled to the head.
I think the second time you come around for that, it's definitely more targeted at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, Aiden, you got any love, any complaints? What do you got?
I, as you guys know on this channel, I'm a competitive guy. I'm a gamer. I like tough games, and I think there was from 1 to 2. If I was on a scale of games that we've played on this channel, or just any NES games I've played in general, I'd say number 1 or DK1 was like a 3 out of 10 hard. DK2 was surprisingly still a 3 out of 10 hard, and I say like 3 was like a 6 or 7 out of 10 hard for me. I or if you get late levels, because I mean if you beat a couple words, because I think I played it for a while, and I might have got to level like 7 or 9 or something like that. I don't remember, but I got pretty far in the game. As for things that pissed me off, were 2 things in DK3. One thing which I think spawns or starts spawning a little earlier on are those yellow bugs. You shoot them once, they turn blue, and you shoot them again, and they shoot four bullets or whatever out at
Mm,
you. And I cannot tell you how
yeah.
many times that's ended my run. Just because like they come so fast, they're like 10 times faster than how fast you can move. And the later you get on, like I think they start spawning at level 5 or 6. It's those bugs which are like the yellow angry bird with a pointy beak that zooms at you like at a million miles per hour that you just can't dodge unless you see them, and you're trying to dodge 1,000 other things as well. But yeah, I don't have anything super negative to say about the game. I mean, it is what it is. Like Larry said, if there was like a cutscene or something cool like that, that would maybe boost my opinion on it. But for kind of arcadey type games to get a high score, I can really see how these games would be good for the time. I think I beat DK1. DK2 was surprisingly easy for me. My first try, I got to the last level where you pushing the keys up. Yeah, I know.
Not
CJ
all of
is CJ
not
did
all of
not
us had that easy at the
cannot
time.
reciprocate that feeling. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot of thing bad to say. I mean, the soundtrack is fine. It didn't pop out at me. I mean, the sound design wasn't something that I'm like really appreciating as I'm watching. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention, but yeah, I don't have a lot of negative things to say. What about you, Larry?
Well, um, I don't know. I mean, like I say, I have strong nostalgia feelings for Junior, and again, it takes me back to being a little kid. Outside of that, it's just like I'm surprised, honestly, to hear you guys on, and I'll just go work towards our closing in this. I I'm not happy with the games myself. I mean, I get the history of it. I appreciate what they've done, where they're coming on it. Um, and honestly, playing them straight through like we did as fast as we did, platformer, shooter, and that third just threw me off. Like, what the fuck is this, and why is this happening? Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I try to find. I can't say I have a hate for this, but on the same token, if I was paying $150 worth of software for this back in 1980, I would probably have a very blind fuck this game, fuck Nintendo. I'm a Sega fanboy, all that. But at least I was poor and we didn't get these kind of things. We were at least able to rent them, and I had played Junior on some. I don't know how I got it for the Atom, so there's that thing. But um, like I say, to push into towards the final thoughts on my thing of it, play it to try it. Don't play it because you want to have a great moment of it. And again, like I say, I'm totally, I don't even know, frustrated. Not frustrated is even the right word. Just mind fucked that you guys both are showing appreciation for a classic arcade game where the whole point is
I think
high score, and I'm like,
I think
I'm not feeling it.
I'm more. I think when you see my rating, I'm definitely more on your page. I was just coming from the perspective as I'm playing this game for free, and considering the time that it was released, I didn't hate it. But I think when you see my score, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's probably reasonable. Because I mean, for the other NES games that we played, it was kind of in the realm of Paperboy for me, where
Mhm.
it was fine. I played it. I had a fine time when I played it. I wasn't jumping for joy. Can't wait to get back to playing it. But for what it was, for the time that I played it, for the time that it was released, for the fact that I'm playing it for free, I I just have a meh. It's like it's it's fine.
That's fair.
Eh,
I think I might have rated a little bit hard too because I feel similar in that token of I didn't think about it. It's a really good point. As if you did spend $150 on this, I would be fucking pissed. I would be
Yeah,
honest. I never thought about that. I'd be pretty pissed. But yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. To me, I enjoyed playing this more than Contra, but
uh,
that's me. I had a terrible time with Contra, but yeah, it's definitely to me. It's no 9.5 out of 10 or anything crazy like that. I think it does its part. I think it's fine, but I enjoyed it. But it's kind of one of those things that's nice because if I saw a Donkey Kong cabinet, Junior, Donkey Kong, or 3, I want to play it. I definitely want to go over, throw a fucking quarter in and play it. I think that's part of the reason
okay.
of I was kind of playing it here. It's kind of like cool, an excuse to play it, but I'm not like like let me get my DK fix in sometime soon. It's just like if the opportunity has arisen, I will play it at least once or twice. Like I'll give it a go. If I go to an arcade somewhere and they have it, I'll make sure I play it at least once. But I'm not like, oh, dude, I got to, I have to play Donkey Kong. But I, it okay enjoyability. It's still not bad.
Well, I will then applaud the method because the sounds of it, at least like I says, I've thought back through this as me being the old guy trying to convince you guys to play old video games. Seems like somewhere we have succeeded. We being Royal We and my crazy head. But um, so quick, rapid answer. No need for details. Play it again. Myself, no. Aiden,
probably not.
CJ,
Hey, if I see it in an arcade, I will. Yeah.
arcade, maybe, maybe.
Yeah,
You want to
there we
give it a
That's fair.
go.
number?
I got a number in my head. Yeah.
Okay, well,
I
go ahead and throw your happiness out so I can step on it.
I'm gonna throw it a 6. It's average. It's
Okay,
not crazy good. It's not terrible. I think it's a 6. It's all right.
Aiden.
How we feeling?
Uh, can we do point fives?
Yeah,
Damn.
you can do point ones if you. Oh wait, point 0.5 overall.
No, I was saying, can we do like
Oh
decimals?
yeah, yeah.
About
Oh
0 to
yes.
10, anywhere in between.
3.5.
Okay.
3.5.
Okay.
Not terrible.
I
Not
just
good.
I like the other games we played better. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Well, it's
That's fair.
like I said my I know I'm being the old man griping about money here, but I'm also going to gripe about the idea that this is 2 years into the Nintendo being available,
That's fair as
and
well.
you gave us less than you did in the arcade. Which to me is just like, after playing Contra and playing Contra in the arcade, Konami gave us more than $4 worth of quarters ever would. So for this, I'm gonna go with 3. And that's just because there's 3 games. Probably only get about 1 apiece.
Yeah, I almost thought the opposite to where I almost gave it a little bit of a boost because of 3. Now, if it's 1 alone, I'm probably more in your realm, but with 3 being so fresh and different, I think I was the opposite of you, Larry, where you're like, what the hell? What is this? I'm like, the hell? What is this? Okay. All right. I think that's why I got a 5 on it, honestly. I think that's why I'm just a little bit higher than you guys.
Well, I'm glad someone's higher than I am right at the moment. That's good.
I think
Um,
I think I could call it a 5 overall, honestly. Probably 5 more accurate than 6.
What's our average?
if you
Puts us at a 3.8 overall, which makes it on our scale a bad game.
that's
Not a
for
great
Which
game.
for
on
today's
great to
for
terrible,
today's
it's
world, I
flat.
would call that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, well, we've definitely put in time on this. I think we're gonna be here a little longer than we thought we were gonna be today, but that's all right. I guess if nothing else, let's go ahead and plug it. Uh, Next week we're back on our regular schedule. We are going to knock out my game, and then hopefully the week following we're gonna knock out Aidan's game. But we're gonna talk about mine right now because I had found something that I knew I had. I just couldn't remember where I had it. But we are going to be playing the Konami Classic Metal Gear from Ultra
Yes.
Games, actually. And I I'm fanboying it right now, but also such a beautiful little thing. I love it so much. I hope that you guys do too. But everybody, if you can, play it, watch us next week and see what everyone else thinks. And guys, I just want to thank you both again. I'm so happy we're back into doing this. I
Yep.
mean, we were coming back anyways, folks. But
Yeah.
I'm giddy. I got friends to hang out with. Go with it, eh? What you got, brother?
Little plug: if you're listening to this on Spotify or any other streaming platforms, make sure to check out our YouTube at VGR Podcast. We got some gameplay on there. We got some other stuff going on. You want to see this in video form? Check us out there as well.
Absolutely.
Another good thing to say, I don't think I can play too much of this, but you guys will get it for sure, possibly if my mic picks it up. But the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
I can't hear it.
I don't think they'll pick it up. I can't really play it too much anyway.
Fair
But
enough,
the boys
fair
are back in town.
Yeah.
enough. Hey. Yes, we are. And make sure you catch us all next time. This has been Video Game Replay. My name is Larry.
My name's Aiden.
Shit. It's CJ
All
and
right.
Aiden.
It's Aiden.
Either way, it's always a good time. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next time.
Later.